there we go. Now Jeffrey's on it for the show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've made it to that point in time. Today, Friday, October
18th.
Friday, October 18th.
You can tell which one's better at dates from the both of us. I called you out. I'm taking you down.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to what very possibly will be the last build day before Night of Destruction. It's kind of one of those things where it almost better be, Tommy.
Yeah, we're out of time.
So, what Tommy's been doing here, we actually got here early today, 10 a.m. we started working on these cars. Tommy has been putting in battery cables so we can extend them, you can see the red wire, all the way to the back of this car. This is kind of a funny setup because these wires are almost engulfing my skid plate car going through the outside. That's not necessarily recommended, but if you ever saw something that wasn't recommended on low budget TV, I guess you're watching the right show. Now, speaking of things that might not be recommended, how did you do this battery cable, Tommy?
What do you mean?
What was your secret to success in getting this one through?
Oh, you ready for this one?
Yes, I am.
You know, like Jeffrey's one went around the hood and through.
Where does this one go?
To every bad, there's gonna be a good, and we found one.
Tommy's been working on this. I've been working on something else. Are you ready for this, folks? Moment of truth, Tommy! Why is this such a moment of truth?
It's because we're gonna see if everybody in the Derby helped give you proper wheel clearance and the sledgehammering and the forklifting itself.
What I'm gonna do is have this mostly tight. In fact, I'm probably gonna go crazy. Now, here's a little something. Folks, if you're ever stranded and for some reason you need to change a tire to save your life, there's a big rule to putting lug nuts on. And I've seen people call me out on this before, and that was because I was actually just tightening and my editing made it look like I wasn't doing it. But every other lug nut.
Yep.
Because otherwise this wheel's gonna go on oblong.
Do a star pattern. Get down the road and feel your car shaking around, and then the wheel falls off. And then, as you saved your own life, you kill others.
Hey,
it's a
Grand Theft Auto.
Cutthroat world, you know?
What's funny is we're actually very close.
We're
We're not there, but we're close. Just wait till you see what we put on the other side. Tommy's rewired this up. But still, it seems like battery issues for this car.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably did something wrong. Maybe it just never wants to start and park ever again.
Wait, it was...
I had to put it in neutral.
So do you think it was just the battery wasn't tight? Well, son of a gun! One thing that you have to do a lot in these type of events is improvise, and that goes as well as when you're preparing the cars. What?
One thing you gotta do when you're low budget is improvise.
Yeah.
When you're a veteran and a high budget person,
Good point.
you don't need to improvise because you have it already.
Good point. So low budget here, low budget TV, low budgets, us, AC Race Bus. We've been talking day in, day out for months now about the tire clearance that we're gonna need on this side. But you know what? You don't need tire clearance when you have a wheel this small. This car just went from looking at least semi-intimidating to everyone's gonna look at this car and just start laughing.
You know what I love about that spare tire over there?
What's that?
And it explains the car perfectly on the side of the tire.
It does, doesn't it?
Temporary use only.
That was a big deal. You know, we were expecting that to take a lot of time today. That got knocked out. This could be considered the graveyard here at Irwindale, but we're over here right now looking at some of these skid plate cars. Now, what the deal is going on right now is we are good friends with both the 88, Daniel, and the 15, Andy. Andy is the guy I always refer to as the guy who I did the Derby with the first time out, the ones that you guys saw a long time ago with the number 00. Well, all my cars are 00, but you get the idea. The Demolition Derby, the big one. This one has a busted, blown up, smashed, nowhere gonna live ever again transmission. And this car was dead before the last race. I don't know how he managed to get it running, but you saw this guy going crazy all over the track. Because of the Enduro, we need to come up with tires. And because of the Derby, we want to have a couple spares for each car. We're looking for 2 spares for each car, which means we need 6 total tires. we need to get basically 4 per car. We're looking for 12 tires. What Tommy's doing way over there right now, because we're in such a push today to get everything done, we're kind of working on different spectrums. Tommy is right now getting ready to get Shayla's car, and Shayla will be out here later. He's getting Shayla's car out ready to go, and he's gonna drive that puppy around for 20 laps in the pit area we just put 5 gallons of gas in it, just gonna go nuts in it, and the idea is to find out where the fuel's coming from, if there is still a leak. We don't know. While Tommy continues his single car hot pursuit, I'm gonna pull off a couple more tires of these cars. I like the way his hair slicks back in the wind. What's the word? Find out. There's something popping. What is it?
Something's cooking on the exhaust system. It's probably a cat.
It's probably an animal. I do not see a leak.
Yeah, listen to this. I think we're cooking squirrel over. Like, it literally sounds like bacon.
Smells like bacon.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's hitting your exhaust manifold right there. That's what's making the sizzle. One of these lines probably is what it looks like.
It is not gas though, right?
No, it looks like water.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's either water or oil. It's either that valve cover or those heater lines.
I'm gonna roll this car over. So one issue we might have with this tire is I think the lug is just shearing off of this.
Folks, hey, I'm busy. What we do usually is improvise. That's what we do best. Look at our jack stands. Not really if you call it jack stands. Luckily we're not working under this thing. But this is what we're gonna use, a drifting tire.
Look how high up the back end of this car is right now.
Yeah. To hold the car up.
Just enough. 5 o'clock here on this Friday afternoon. Now at this point, this should look a little odd on these cars, considering that these have been skid plate cars ever since you've seen them. But look at this, the wheels return, and that's because these cars are ready for the Enduro first. It's gonna be the first race of the night, and then a skid plate race, and then throw the wheels back on for a derby. It wasn't my choice of order, but we'll deal with it. You can see the damage now, especially on this car, on the rear wheel. It's facing a funny direction. Now what Tommy's doing over there is he's working on putting a hose on the transmission line, because we didn't have one on the Torino. He also figured out that the diagram that he had said that it was the plug wires were not wired correctly, which means
theoretically, but the internet can tell you lies.
That means that this car might actually sound more decent. We'll see. As far as where we're at, this bumper needs to be fixed. Will be done today. This car needs a battery box. Will be done today. This car needs a battery box. Will be done today. And then this car, the good old Torino, needs patch-up work. We need to just figure out where the fuel stuff's coming from, but worst case scenario, we'll run it anyways. We're at that point with this car.
Oh yeah.
Tommy, why are you making everyone mad?
It's celebration, it's payday.
Now, I want to point something out. You guys missed this earlier, but when Tommy was driving the number 2 Shayla trailer car around, this beast, he got a little crazy. Mr. Max D.
When don't I?
When don't you? Look at this. All right, you know our wonderful lights? Well, let's just say this is the beginning of bad news. So that was part of an issue. And then he ran over. Do you see anything wrong? Do you see anything wrong? And then, along with that, he also demolished the power strip. In case you don't. But my favorite of them all is somehow he yanked this thing over. So I think we busted both glass on this light. Let's see. See what the damage is now. No, that one's a trooper. This one's clear. That one's a trooper. Ow. There's glass falling out of that. So folks, I dare say that minus welding and minus wheels, today, what would you say, Tommy? We have 4 things left on our list?
Yeah. We're looking good.
Isn't that crazy?
We're looking good.
4 MFers.
Folks, Jeffrey's gonna try to start this car up to see if it sounds any better or worse. It sounds good. I like it. Now that's... I love your Auga horn. What? Your Auga horn. I think it's leaking gas still. Look at all that summer good.
Is it leaking a lot?
Yeah.
Oh, but it wasn't leaking from the top, right?
Correct.
It's leaking from the bottom?
Yep.
That's probably just that silicone bolt.